Russia sends 29 armored vehicles to Mali through new Gulf of Guinea supply route despite sanctions. Russia has delivered a reported 29 armored vehicles to Mali through the Togolese port of Lomé, including BMP-2 and BMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles, BTR-82 armored personnel carriers, and Tigr light armored vehicles. Traced by BBC Verify from Baltiysk to Bamako in July 2026, the shipment strengthens protected mobility and direct fire support for selected Malian and Africa Corps units without shifting the wider balance of forces. The delivery also confirms a viable Gulf of Guinea supply route into the landlocked Central Sahel. That corridor could help replace vehicles lost in repeated convoy fighting north of Gao and sustain Russian-backed operations across northern Mali. The most detailed published inventory, attributed initially to Jeune Afrique and repeated by Rain, comprises 3 BMP-2s, 8 BMP-3s, 14 Tigr vehicles for BTR-82s, 2 unidentified anti-aircraft guns, and approximately 20 trucks and motorcycles. BBC reporting supports the presence of infantry fighting vehicles, armored personnel carriers, and trucks, but does not independently establish every model and quantity. The detailed count should therefore be treated as a reported inventory rather than a confirmed Russian or Malian disclosure. Even if accurate, the package contains only 11 tracked infantry fighting vehicles and 4 wheeled armored personnel carriers. Its practical value lies in replacing combat losses, forming convoy escort groups, and adding fire support to several company-sized detachments, not in creating a large mechanized formation. Ezoic. The 8 reported BMP-3s account for most of the shipment's firepower. The BMP-3 turret combines a 100mm 2A70 rifled gun launcher, a 30mm 2A72 automatic cannon, and a coaxial 7.62mm machine gun. Standard vehicles also carry 2 forward-firing 7.62mm machine guns. The 100mm weapon is not equivalent to a main battle tank gun. It fires relatively low-velocity, high-explosive ammunition and guided anti-tank missiles, making it useful against buildings, field fortifications, weapon positions, and light armored vehicles. In Mali, the high-explosive round is likely to be more relevant than the anti-tank missile because JNIM and the Azawad Liberation Front operate mainly with pickup trucks, motorcycles, captured armored vehicles, and dismounted teams rather than modern tanks. The 30mm cannon is the more flexible weapon for convoy defense. It can engage technicals, machine gun positions, and fighters behind light cover at ranges beyond those of insurgent heavy machine guns. The BMP-2 carries a stabilized 30mm 2A42 cannon, a coaxial 7.62mm PKT machine gun, and a roof-mounted launcher for the wire-guided 9M113 Konkurs missile, which has a stated maximum range of 4 kilometers. It weighs approximately 14 tons, carries 3 crew members and 7 infantry soldiers, reaches about 65 km/h on roads, and has a quoted range of 550 to 600 kilometers. Its tracked running gear is useful on sand, broken ground, and unimproved routes, but its armor was designed primarily against small arms fire and fragments. Neither the BMP-2 nor BMP-3 was designed to absorb the large buried explosive charges used in Sahel convoy ambushes. Their tactical advantage is therefore firepower and cross-country mobility, not immunity to improvised explosive devices. The vehicles are most effective when engineers, scouts, and unmanned aerial vehicles identify the ambush before the column reaches the engagement area. The 4 BTR-82s provide a different balance of mobility and protection. Rosoborn Export lists the BTR-82A at 16 tons, with a 3-person crew, space for 7 soldiers, an 80 km/h road speed, and a 700-kilometer cruising range. Its stabilized 30mm 2A72 cannon carries 300 rounds, while the coaxial 7.62mm PKTM carries 2,000 rounds. The manufacturer gives a maximum range of 4,000 meters against ground targets, with high explosive and fragmentation ammunition. The 8x8 vehicle is better suited than a tracked BMP to long road movements between Bamako, Sévère, and Gao, but its side access arrangement, limited armor, and high silhouette remain disadvantages in close ambushes. The 14 Tigr vehicles are suitable for liaison, patrol, command, and small team transport. Reports describing them as mine-resistant should be treated cautiously. The official Tigr specification cites STANAG 4569 Level 1 ballistic protection, which is substantially below the underbody protection normally associated with purpose-built mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles. Malice requirement is driven by a specific operational problem. The Army must hold widely separated bases while moving fuel, ammunition, and reinforcements over roads that armed groups can mine, observe, and attack. During the July 2026 fighting around Anafis, JNAM and the Azawad Liberation Front attacked positions at Gao, Aguelhawk, and Anafis and repeatedly interdicted relief columns moving north from Gao. One reported reinforcement convoy contained about 67 armored vehicles, fuel trucks, and motorcycles, but was struck by improvised explosive devices and an ambush near Tabrashat on July 9th. A second major ambush on July 18th between Gao and Anafis reportedly killed more than 50 Malian soldiers and allied Russian personnel, although Reuters could not independently confirm the toll. These incidents explain why Bamako needs replacement vehicles, but they also show that adding armor without route clearance teams, persistent reconnaissance, and coordinated infantry protection does not solve the convoy problem. Russia did not technically neutralize the sanctions on the Mikhail Britnev. It organized the voyage largely outside the jurisdiction and commercial services of the sanctioning states. The United States designated the Russian-flagged cargo ship IMO 908-1370 on May 1, 2024, because of its link to sanctioned operator IKO Shipping. An OFAC designation freezes property within U.S. jurisdiction and prohibits transactions by U.S. persons. It is not a worldwide authorization to seize the ship wherever it sails. Moscow used a Russian vessel, loaded it at a Russian military port, escorted it with the Russian Navy landing ship Alexander Shabalin, and discharged the cargo in Togo, which was not obliged to enforce a U.S. asset freeze under domestic law. After passing the English Channel on June 23, the cargo ship stopped transmitting AIS data and reappeared in Lomé on July 9. One day before arrival, it was still listing Dakar as its destination. These measures reduced commercial exposure and tracking, but did not make the voyage invisible. They demonstrate the principal limitation of unilateral sanctions. They can deny finance, insurance, and port services within participating jurisdictions, but they cannot physically prevent state-controlled shipping between Russia and a cooperating government.